Luke Cage, another of those Netflix series I don't like. The key episodes are 1, 7 and 13. 13 is the last episode. It only has a second season, and though it's positive, it recognizes that the Defenders happened, unlike Jessica Jones. The simple stuff here is he has two villains this time. A mirror villain, who is also invulnerable. It's some kind of somewhat lesser because he gets shot and you see the bullets in its body, and Luke Cage, it's just the bullets just pop off, so whatever. His stick is that your father's, mother's, daughter's, neighbor's, cleaner lady killed my dog or whatever, and therefore I will take my revenge on you. But it's not Luke Cage, but on Miss Kingpin, because the other villain is a drug mafia head who is practically a black female Kingpin. Now she dies at the end, so there is this nuance difference, but who even really cares? How does she die? Luke Cage hires or works with a voodoo priestess or something along that line, but we have a better voodoo priestess in Cloak and Dagger. For the grander scheme, season 1 was a Blacks to Blacks production, so yeah, that I'm not black, so I was not interested. This one tries to do some introducing the black communities inside work, folks and rituals and worldview to the general audience or maybe the white audience. The problem is, because it is a problem, that the black community is clearly defined, has a very strong self-image. Now the problem with this is that they cannot do what Miss Marvel show did to apply to all the minorities. So it's Black Lives Matter, not everyone's life matter, and there is no yellow life matter or red life matter or whatever. It's Black Lives Matter. So it shows you the blacks, but it never tries to go for a I'm showing you so you accept me, but I'm showing you because I am here. I'm already here. So you should accept us, not work with us to find our place. We already have the place. And you can't get rid of us. And that's very racist, I'm sorry, and it's a full black show. There are no white people in this show. So, I'm sorry, but I'm not really into that. And, dude, I understand that you have all this black music stuff going, like blues and jazz and whatever. I don't want to listen to that. Why don't you put it in the background? Make it the background music. That could work. Like Daredevil's Catholicism was in the background and was even just a general Christianity thing. But really, why not just make it a background music like Miss Marvel did? No, we have to do a whole music video about those. And if we take out all the long shots, the zooming shots in and out, the pauses between lines, and we make a reasonable rewrite on the dialogues, because seemingly black people has this tendency to explain something with 100 words when it can be told in one word. The show would be much more consumer friendly, 20 minutes instead of 40, 50. The last episode was 70 minutes. That's insanely long. That's a whole movie. And nothing really happened in it. Now, the ending of this show is that Luke Cage is discussing the situation with the drug dealer who is taking over, the capo, to, work inside limitations. He technically wants them out of the wall of the Harlem, but we all know how realistic that is, so that's not a real thing. Because drugs are always a accessibility, demand problem. It's people getting desperate and try to not commit suicide. Let's be honest about this. So when it comes to rich people doing rich people stuff, we don't really care, but that's on the other hand, that's life becoming so easy they cannot suffer it anymore. And that's a real thing. You must work, because that's how evolution works for millions of ages. So drugs won't go away, you must legalize it. And that's kind of the approach the show takes within the limitations of the superhero genre. So it says you shouldn't work in Harlem. Big deal. The mirror villain just leaves after he's satisfied with the situation, so that's not really a big thing. He probably won't come back. He really seemed to be dragged down by the injuries he suffered. He ate some magic plants or whatever and became kind of like Black Panther. So this season reminds us to other installments of the MCU, which more directly approaches certain thing within this show, and because they are concentrating to this one aspect, they do a much better job with it. Is this better than season 1? It is. It's not as good as season 1 of Jessica Jones, what was practically Jessica Jones working with Luke Cage, kinda, but it's not that bad. If you want, you could watch it, but I question, why would you want to watch this? If you are interested in unique cultures, you would watch Miss Marvel, because that's more out there. It's just black people doing black people stuff. As said, fortunately, it's not necessarily a blacks to blacks movie, but it's still a black only movie, which is not really attractive to the white audience. While Miss Marvel necessarily as a majority white, casting in a majority white country. So maybe think about that next time. And I think the guy stopped lifting weights, and that shows. I mean, he took up weight, not as much as at the end of Jessica Jones. I don't know how the whole connection thing works, for a proper timeline thing, but